One. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thriving Through Trials, the program that's dedicated to bringing hope and inspiration to those facing debilitating or potentially debilitating diseases and challenges. I'm Dr. Benjamin-Allen, your Freedom Wellness Doc, a board-certified physician in physical medicine and rehabilitation, and founder of Freedom Wellness Physiatry, a direct specialty rehabilitation consulting practice serving the DMV in the home setting. In this show, we'll be sharing a light on remarkable individuals who have not just survived, but thrived in spite of their challenges. We'll be exploring their journeys, their resilience, and the journey and strategies they've used to regain mobility, independence, and improve their quality of life. Our goal is to empower, encourage, and motivate you, our listeners, and provide a source of inspiration in the face of adversity. Join us as we uncover stories of triumph and learn how to thrive through life's toughest trials. Today, I have a special guest with me, Mr. Clayton Williamson, and he is going to share his story living with brain injury as a father and a man of God, and he is here to share more about his story. So I'm going to let him introduce himself now. Introduce yourself to us, Clayton.
Oh, how you guys doing? I'm Clayton Williamson. I'm a brain injury survivor, and I'm striving. I'm thriving, and you know, uh, want to share a brief story about myself. Let me get my thoughts together. Um, it's definitely an honor and privilege to be on your episode, Dr. Samantha. Um, so 14, 15, almost 15 years ago, 4th of July, um, I suffered a car. I was in a car. I had suffered a head injury in a car accident. I was probably 21, about to turn 22 years old, and was just drinking and driving and having fun, right, and living life fast. I guess thank God that I suffered a head injury in the car accident, which I had two friends in the car with me, and they suffered minor injuries, and I sustained a head injury, and I fell into a coma, and doctors said I wouldn't be able to walk and talk again.
Wow. But you're walking and talking. You're talking to
Yeah.
me right now.
So I'm
And
grateful for that.
thankfully, your friends did not have severe injuries and are still
Yeah,
here, I
grateful. Yeah.
gather. So tell me, during that season when you were, how long were you in a coma?
I was in there for a month.
A month.
Yeah.
And when you came out of the coma, what was the first thing you remembered?
Oh man. Uh I relive it almost every day. Um, I just remember waking up.
Take your time.
Sorry. Not knowing where I was, but knowing that I was in the hospital and not knowing why I was there.
Okay. And
Yeah.
who was it that explained to you what had happened?
Doctors. Doctors. Um, and I know my mom was telling me to calm down because I was trying to get out of the admittance they had me in. And I was just overwhelmed because I didn't know where I was. I didn't know exactly how to capture why I was at the hospital and who was the cause of the accident.
Hmm.
And and yeah, it just baffled me. Yeah.
Now, in the process of you recovering, what things were challenging for you to do at first? And what of those things that you weren't doing then are you able to do now?
I'm able to walk. Definitely. I'm grateful to Father God for that. Uh I had to deal with memory games and things that I still do today. Write things, certain things down that keep memory. I'm a photographic memory. I have photographic memory, which I had to gain back those abilities.
Hmm.
It was challenging at first. Um, And I remember slowly I used to I have a security background,
Okay.
so most of it was just seeing, observing, and reporting, right? So I use those things and I challenge myself to see, observe, and report things and just to remember those things, right? Um, and these are just gifts I know that I was gifted with before the accident. Um, and I slowly gained these things back, but some things I'm not going to gain back at all. There's mood swing changes, there's anger, but sometimes I'm able to see it before it flares out. Medication was, the thing that doctors had me on, but it suppressed it, and I just had to gain back the ability to learn how to control my anger, even at
Hmm.
times it flares off. I don't know if
Right.
that explains your question, but sorry if I'm going off
No,
and
that's
ranting.
that's actually common in brain injury. Commonly when people suffer brain injury, whatever personality traits that they have tend to be more enhanced. So if it's somebody who really is a stickler or a perfectionist on getting things right and has to
Yeah,
be a certain way, it becomes almost like obsessive and it's hard
right.
to control it. So the things that we can naturally kind of inhibit when we notice that we're getting angry and is welling up inside us and say, okay, calm down, it's more difficult to inhibit that. So that is
Yeah.
completely accurate. So that is a challenge, but I'm glad to hear that you are learning to better
Yeah.
control it. And medications do help as well. And there are people who can eventually wean off the medication. Some people stay on it. Everyone's different. But it sounds like you are at a place where you can recognize it now. So you're conscious of it, which is great. And that comes with time. So if anybody's listening, kind of going through those challenges with mood swings and kind of getting frustrated at how they're behaving, it's not it's not just you. Your brain is healing and the natural ability to inhibit certain responses is challenged when you have a brain injury. So that is normal. Thank you for sharing that. And how about the things that your family noticed? Like, how was it interacting with your family after the brain injury? And what would you say the biggest surprise was along the journey?
Man, going through recovery, I know going to a brain injury support group with my sister one day, and I remember it vividly, said, he's not the same anymore. It's like I stare off into this space, and I still do it now. I stare off in space, and I'm just like wondering, I'm curious, like, what would life be without this brain injury? And it happens daily.
Hmm.
But I overcome that because I say it's my gift. It's my gift, and I have to share it with the world. If not, but just that method of reaching one and teaching one,
Right.
you know.
And post-traumatic amnesia is what we call loss of memory after brain injury, where you don't remember the event. Did you remember anything before the coma, or did you wake up and everything was completely gone? How was that?
Still, if I try to remember those times every day, so I I just remember waking up in a suburban hospital. I don't remember what I was doing to sustain the injury.
Hmm.
They just told me that I was driving and we were out partying 2 days straight or whatever, and
Hmm.
we were young and 21, 22, so we were just partying and yeah, all I can remember is just wake up in the hospital and not knowing how I got there or some part of who I was. I dealt with that identity crisis of who I was, and I still battled that from there. When I told you the story about when I went to a support group first time, hearing my sister say, he's not the same.
Right. And do you look at videos or pictures or, I don't know, high school memories, anything to kind of help piece that back together? Or do you feel like you've accepted this version of you? This is still you, by the way. It's just different than what everybody's used to and what you were before. This is just you in this season. But how do you reconcile the two seasons of your life? Do you find yourself looking back and trying to piece together kind of things that you did in the past, things you enjoyed, activities you used to love, people you used to hang out with, or uh, are you embracing the new you? How are you feeling through all that?
Well, I've always liked doing music, and I still slowly got into doing music again. I had some slurs and speech and whatnot. That's still challenging. So I just do it as a hobby.
Mhm.
I like to write. I'm a poet. I like writing poetry.
Nice.
So those things I've slowly gotten back into, but I kind of straight away when I look at my old poetry compared to my new ones, and I'm like, it still kind of rhymes, but it's still kind of nursery rhymes. And I'm getting gradually. It's like not nursery rhymes, but it's like I'm gradually getting from milk to solids, like in
I
that
got
sense in the
you.
Christian faith.
So
Yeah,
you feel like it's more rudimentary than it was before the injury.
yeah, yeah,
And that is also common. A lot of things have to be relearned. So
yeah.
uh, the good thing, I don't know if good is the right word to use, but the older you are when a brain injury happens, the more you have to recruit from when you're relearning something. So it doesn't necessarily take as long as it did when you first learned it. So the more you practice it, you will get back to being able to write the way you used to. And you might surprise yourself and find there's some new level of creativity that stems from this. But you have to develop that rewiring or that neuroplasticity that we call it to relearn tasks and master them again. So keep doing it. If it's something you like and you're good at it,
Yeah.
that that talent is in you. So just keep exercising it and things will start to come back. But you have to keep practicing. And that's the thing when we are relearning how to do tasks after brain injury, it's the repetition, repetition. Like what you had to do when you're a child trying to learn mathematics or multiplication tables, things like that. Just keep doing it, doing it, doing it until it starts to become second nature again.
Right.
So I'm glad you're back into that. Keep doing it. I want to hear some of your poetry. Clay and I are in a book club together, actually. So people share different things about themselves every
Yeah.
now and again. So I'd love to hear a piece.
All right, definitely, definitely.
All right. Now tell me, what's the most helpful thing that someone did for you while you're going through this? If there are caregivers listening and they want to know, how can I help my loved one who's had brain injury and they're going through these challenges? How can I be helpful to them? Can you remember a time when anyone was helpful to you?
I mean, there's been a few family, friends. It's so much right now that I want to give, my gratitude and you know,
You don't have to name names because if we name names,
yeah,
we always leave out somebody that
right,
you're gonna feel bad. So you can just say
right.
what they did
Oh
that
man,
you that
they
impacted you and was like, man, that was really helpful during
they
this
they just
during this time.
they just told me that they'll. I'm start crying, but
Take your time. That's okay. Take your time. When you've come from so far, it's definitely emotional as you reflect
yeah,
on it. You've come far. So take your time.
they will walk. They will walk with me.
They would walk with you when you're learning to walk
Yeah,
again.
they will walk with me. I said, how can they walk with me? So that motivated me to to continue on with the journey.
And they're still walking with you because I hear you
Yeah,
talking about your family.
yeah,
So I'm glad you have that support. It's always important to have at least one person in your corner when you're
mm,
going through. So I tell everyone when they're recovering from something, don't feel like you're a burden. If you need help, ask for it because we are not
yeah,
designed to journey through life alone. And times like
exactly.
these definitely require support. So I'm glad to hear that you had family walking with you through this. and
Yeah.
that they're still there helping to hold you up along the way. So that's very important. Now, did you develop any new curiosities or passions after this
Uh,
injury?
well, challenging myself to, be a service like an entrepreneur, relationship marketing. So just challenging myself to doing that and stepping into another field because
Mm-hmm.
I've challenged myself doing security work as a security officer, but now I have my chronic issues, my chronic pains that I deal with, along with the brain injury, being a brain injury survivor, and that stems from you know a lot of other health issues. But um, I'm just grateful that I have these things that keep is a reminder that I need my father, my heavenly father, and I need my community.
Yes.
So
And what are you most passionate about in this season of your journey? Is it the work you're doing in relationship marketing or your writing, your music?
I'm working on doing all that together, sharing that like as in an album, a mixtape I was working on long ago. It was called Journey Through, and I
Uh-huh.
want to get back into that because it was describing my journey through as an artist and as a brain injury survivor who's working in the field in writing for kingdom music and gospel, right? So
Uh-huh.
I'm a rapper and a singer, so I like to craft things for the Heavenly Father, and I want to get back into doing that, sharing my
Nice.
journey through.
Okay. I love it. Now, tell me what lessons you can share with our audience from this journey to this point. Tell me one lesson that you would want to share with those who are listening.
And listen, that we are not alone. Um, we are more than just overcomers. Uh, there's more in our journey. Our journey is going to continue. So it's just, it's a beautiful journey.
Yes. You just reminded me of something I like to tell myself and encourage others in, which is embracing the journey, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because there's beauty to be found if you search for it. So, anyone listening, if you feel like what you're going through is too much and you can't get through it, just know that your voice and your story and your struggles matter. And as long as you remember that, you can keep holding on and know that there is something to gain in this, and there's something in it to enhance others' lives too. So just keep that in mind. And like he said, you're not alone. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And you'd be surprised sometimes the person you least expect might step up. So just remember that. Now, Clay, is there any take home messages that you want to share?
Take
So we're
home
going to wrap up
messages.
soon. So what do you want
Yeah.
them to take home with them?
Um, we always have a new day to face the uphill battles, but the uphill battles can be overcome if we just have that little faith.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing. And for those who don't know, I just wanted to share a little bit of information from uh, I guess I should say the scientific research regarding the behaviors that can be challenging after brain injury because a lot of people get hard on themselves when their behavior does not align with who they were before this happened. And I want you to know that that is a normal part of your healing process. Our brain releases neurochemicals, and these chemicals all work in a synergistic way and talk to each other to increase when we need to tap up, to decrease when we need to level down. And they work in this synergistic way. And when there's injury, that synergy gets interrupted. So, for instance, one neurochemical is glutamate, and that chemical, when it's increased in the brain, people can find themselves laughing or crying when they normally wouldn't, or they'd be able to control it, or when they actually want to laugh, they're crying. So it's very complicated. So you trying to navigate all of that can be challenging, but I don't want anyone to feel embarrassed by it because there are neurochemical changes going on. And there are things that exist to help with that too. So if you notice that, express it with your team, your doctors, your therapists, or whoever is helping to control your care and manage your care. You want to partner with them. And when you're open with them, they can help you along the journey. So you're not trying to fight all this by yourself, thinking it's just you, because it's more than that. So I just wanted to put that out there and make sure you guys stay encouraged to know that this is not an easy journey, but it's worth it. And I want to ask you one last thing. How can listeners find you? Whatever you're working
Mm.
on, tell them how they
Uh,
can find you or reach out to you if they want to just get a few more tips along
yeah.
their journey. How can they find you?
Well,
Links, websites, email.
yeah. Clayton.williamson25 at gmail.com. And my Facebook name, I spelled it with a unique because I don't know. It's just something about me that I just created something uniquely since I'm different, right? Clay Williamson on Facebook.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and that's the links I can think of right now.
All right. So I will include that in the notes to accompany this episode. And I thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure. And I know you're going to continue to do great things along your journey. So keep sharing your gifts and your story with the world because it's sure to encourage and keep others inspired who might be going through too. So thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. We're going
Thank
to
you.
close
Thank you.
out. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. And I want to encourage anyone who has a story to share to please contact me at info@freedomwellnessphysiatry.com. If you've been inspired by the incredible stories shared on this show and like to stay connected with us, make sure to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, or my personal wellness journey on Instagram at Freedom Wellness Doc. And I'm found at Freedom Wellness Physiatry, physiatry spelled Physiatry, on YouTube and Facebook. And remember, if you or a loved one are in the DMV, severely debilitated from a challenging medical experience or disease, and are in need of our specialized service at Freedom Wellness Physiatry, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to partner with caregivers and help those facing severe debility achieve greater mobility, function, and quality of life at home. Our waitlist is open, so click the link in the show notes. You can join our list and receive tips to help you along your journey to better living. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.